No, and I actually didn't know about Vyasa. I didn't know Vyasa disagreed with that. See, I thought he agreed with it. That's where the other. I thought he actually agreed with that, and then he just tried to he tried to give you, if you tried to look it up, you couldn't find it under Black Comedy for XYZ. That's what I thought I heard. And then when Stu Pease jumped in, the way he jumped in and some of what he said made it, it steered the conversation into like, the acknowledgement being problematic. Like that's what we started talking about.
That would be problematic though. You don't agree?
No, because we just said, no, hold up. We just said they had Black stand-up comics before mainstream acknowledged it.
Right. But they were saying that the genre didn't exist. How?
Until mainstream.
Okay. Oh, damn.
It didn't exist until Black people established it as a genre. And it didn't.
But if genre is a category, how did it not exist?
You nitpicking pretty hard, but I guess that's what you're saying. I didn't. No, hold on. I didn't come right out and say. No, I didn't come right out and say.
In high school, hold on. Do y'all really think me, Stu Pease in high school were nitpicking?
No, look. If you hear me, listen, bro. If you hear me say that they had Black stand-up comedians before it was recognized by mainstream America, how am I not saying what you saying in a different way?
Okay, fine. Now that's you. So you on board, right?
Yeah.
No. Hold on, Chef. Real quick, because we went over this already. Logic.
We did.
Hold on, but let me clear it up again for Logic, because this is gonna be like the third or fourth time I'm saying it. The person who said that, it didn't just leave it at that. They said that no, that form of comedy that Ed Burke was doing did not exist in the 50s and 60s, and even in the Richard Pryor era. They said that what them guys were doing was a derivative of the minstrel show and vaudeville shit.
Okay. I might have missed.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that? Who's saying that?
Vyasa yesterday. I might have missed some of the stuff.
You do not get one single comedian standing on stage until you get the interlocutor extracted from the vaudeville and the minstrel shows. And then that in the 1950s, because of the resistance movement, that character starts to change and becomes what we start seeing as the stand-up comedian.
All right. You know.
A genre.
Yeah. I looked up to Anathema. They said they did have stand-up comedians.
Please, let me rebut him. Because before that, you had singles act and you had double acts. Meaning that some comedians went on stage as single people, and some comedians went on stage as a two-person act, i.e. Abbott and Costello. Anybody know who Abbott and Costello is?
And I told you before, you don't even know what you're talking about. Don't come from the minstrel. That comes from the minstrel. The two double and the single is the interlocutor, is the single person. You've done
not because you know big word. You know.
I keep saying that.
Can I finish speaking now?
You just want to cut.
Can I finish speaking now?
No.
Can I finish speaking now?
Okay, I'm going to talk now.
I don't know who did that on this. I'm bored.
All right. Hold on. We got to let each other talk. Go ahead, Anathema. Stu Pease, let Anathema go. Y'all got it. Stu Pease and Anathema. Go ahead.
Yes, boy.
Go ahead.
Somebody let somebody.
Bomba. Go ahead, Stu Pease.
Bomba card.
Make Anathema go. Go Anathema. Anathema go. Go Anathema. I'll wait.
Will y'all get out of my soundboard? Y'all the worst.
Here's is too funny.
I'm suing y'all. I'm suing y'all niggas. I'm suing all y'all.
Where's Anathema? Anathema, the floor is yours.
I'm not gonna keep saying the same thing about the history of because I know it ain't in America. I already told you that from the minstrel show, they extracted the two in characters, which became the duo comedy. The interlocutor who used to sit in the middle and direct the skits between the stage members that sat on the chairs. When they got rid of the chairs, they got rid of the background characters, and they took the two in man, made that the duo comedy, and they took the interlocutor and made him the single person on stage.
I'm going to say this to you now. Can I talk now? Because you repeat what you say. During the time, you had the interlocutor. And what do you mean by the interlocutor? Normally, many comedians perform in duo. You had the serious man and you had the joker. Like you had Abbott and Costello, you had Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. But then also, let me finish.
Where that comes from, and you keep ignoring that. I know that.
Dude, I made you speak. I shut up and I make you speak. And now I'm speaking. And because you have a big pussy that is wet, you need to get up. I'm not responding to you.
Listen, hold on. We screaming. Will y'all relax and let each other talk so we can hear both of y'all?
I'm waiting on him. He said shut up and let him talk. Speak some more, Anathema.
Talking about these characters.
Listen, whoever said interlocutor already won. Stu Peasy won because he brought up that word that I'm trying to Google right now.
No.
And
he won. This is what I'm saying. Along with those, you also had persons who performed singly. Like this old white man who died like 10 years ago, wearing the thick white glasses. And they have Bob Hope, who also went on stage at that time. And Bob Hope was a single comedian on stage.
The interlocutor is a single person. What the fuck?
What interlocutor mean? What interlocutor mean? What interlocutor mean? No, you see, you can't have it both ways. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. Can I speak, please? Somebody mute him, please. Somebody mute him, please, so I can speak. Because it's constantly interrupting me. Interlocutor by definition. Bring it up on chat. GTP. Interlocutor by definition. It's a conversation between two people. Am I lying?
No, that's not part of the minstrel. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
You don't know. And why are you
exactly what I'm talking about?
What is interlocutor? All right,
one at a time, bro. One at a time.
All right, Anathema, can I speak now? Could you define the word? Can you define the word interlocutor for me?
Can I explain this to you one more time, man?
No. Can you define the word interlocutor?
Somebody has to fall back. Listen, I don't want to move nobody.
Let me help y'all out, man. Because since I got the power and the technology, I keep saying it one at a time. So say what you're saying, stupid.
I'm asking him to define interlocutor because interlocutor, by definition, is a conversation between two people. So early comedians on stage normally has two people, but some comedians were so good that they could do it on themselves. Bob Hope did it by himself, right? Stand-up comedians in black community, some were so good that they could do it by themselves. They didn't need a two-man approach, but he's talking about interlocutor, and he's going back to vaudeville, and he's going back to the minstrel shows. When we moved past that a long time ago and talking about stand-up comedy, he's trying to make it part with the history. And we're saying that it existed before the 80s. One man on stage existed before the 80s. It existed in the 50s, it existed in the 60s, and it existed in the 70s. It was called black comedy when white people decided to call it black comedy. But they were doing it long before white people decided to call it that. That is my issue. But guess what? He's convoluting the argument because him is a crossover baby. Him is Allen Iverson. But go ahead now, Alan.
Nah, man, before 1950, niggas wasn't laughing, bro. They weren't happy.
And two. Stu Peas, I think you talking about a lot of documented shit, right? Where DQ at? Where's all my down south people at? Juke joint people, Chitlin circuit people. Where's all my Chitlin circuit people at? Let's stop arguing like all the time popular points that the whole. Hold on.
I think I'm the only one on here.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. Like Kyle.
What he said, B. Y'all said we're gonna have.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. You got it. My bad. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay, the interlocutor. This nigga don't even know what he's talking about. The interlocutor is a misappropriation of the term. That's what they call the head single man. He stood apart from the other stage man in the minstrel show. He was a single act. They use the word interlocutor. It's a misappropriation. It's supposed to be how black people say things wrong, incorrectly. That's why you can't look up the fucking term, you idiot. You don't understand the whole point of the show. The interlocutor was the single act. They took the two in man called the Mr. Tambone and Mr. Bones. They became the straight man and the goofy man to play off him. And that's how you got the Dean Martins and the Jerry Lewises, the Abbott and Costellos, all of that. And then the person that would play the interlocutor became the single act. And I'm telling you, it all came out of that. That's how you got American comedies set up. And so that's why it already existed. He don't know what
black.
Didn't I just say exactly? Didn't I just say exactly?
American comedy, and he just wants to make arguments about fucking red.
Didn't I just say that originally I had two men on stage, that you admitted to that you had the straight man.
You didn't know what the interlocutor was. I just explained it to you. You tried to say that the interlocutor was a person that was not a single act. And I set it up. And I told you that that's how the whole of the fucking structure of the comedy in America was set up. And you don't want to admit it. Because you were wrong.
Wrong how? Wrong how? Wrong
how?
how?
Understand. You didn't know what the interlocutor was?
Look here, you found a 3 syllables word, interlocutor.
And
you find a 3 syllables word, interlocutor. And you have been running with it since yesterday. That's how I know you're dumb. You found a 3 syllable word that you didn't explain properly anytime. You found a 3 syllable word. But when I finish.
Yeah. Come on, y'all.
Is he finished?
Pause. Where you at, man? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anathema.
All right. This is it. Dudes use big words to frighten you sometimes. Don't let a 3 syllable word frighten you. Yesterday, he has said that word 100 times. And since he come on this morning, he has said it 50 times. He's using a 3 syllable word. And he's saying that I don't understand the meaning of the word. Can you define the word, please? Can you define the word, please? I'm asking you. Go to ChatGTP and define the word.
The correct word is supposed to mean to appropriate. It's supposed to mock black English.
No, is that the definition? Or is that the definition that you're making up? Can you find the definition of the word? Go to the ChatGTP and type in what the word means.
ChatGPT to tell you nothing about minstrel show, B. I know about minstrel show. I don't have to go to ChatGPT for that.
Okay, I'm just asking you for your source. You can ask me for mine. Right? I'm asking you for the but I'm asking you for the definition of a word.
All right.
I know why you
point trying to be made. Hold on. Anathema.
You have been using this word. I don't know the meaning.
What's the point y'all trying to make? Never mind the word, because I know y'all some wordsmiths. What is the point that y'all are both trying to make? Stupies, please.
All right. He's overcomplicating the matter to get to his point that black
That's my job. How dare he? That's my job.
He's overcomplicating. So since yesterday, he found the word interlocutor and he has been running with it. Now, if you look at the definition of interlocutor, it means a conversation between two people. And how they put it in comedy, you had normally a straight man and a funny man. Right, but along with that time where they had the straight man and the funny man on the stage, they also had single comedians. So what he's trying to say is that comedy evolved from 2 person to 1 person. And I'm saying that even during the time that you had 2 persons on stage, you still had that single comedian on stage. So it has always been happening from day one. He's trying to say, oh, it evolved this way and it must evolve this way. Even today, we have comedians who perform as duos.
Anathema. Go ahead.
What? The whole point was...
No, go ahead. I say, damn the word. What point was you trying to make? Don't worry about the words.
I started with the whole
Please.
point.
Go ahead.
That's what the whole point was about when Vyasa said that prior to that, they were using minstrel traditions. And they were, because the structure of comedy itself came from the minstrel show. And if you understand these three major characters that were extracted from the minstrel show, I keep saying you had the two in-men. You had Mr. Bones, Mr. Tambone. They became the straight and the wingman. And all of that.
So y'all saying it was like that up
you had a man in between them that used to facilitate their conversation that was called the interlocutor. He had his own.
So y'all saying it was like that
as a single person.
Can somebody mute him? Can somebody mute him?
Well, he was trying to finish his point. Go ahead, Chef.
It's real quick. Chef is asking a question that cuts right to the heart of the matter.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Right. That existed up into Eddie Murphy.
Right. So nobody stop. I'm going to take Anathema off mute. Anathema, I want you to answer that question specifically. All right. So I'm going to take you off mute. Give me a second. Go ahead, Anathema.
What question?
Ask him again, Chef.
So you're saying that form of comedy existed up into Eddie Murphy to 1980?
No, I didn't say that either. Why do you keep intimating that?
He's asking a question. Ask a question, Anathema. He didn't intimate anything. So the answer is no, right? So then the follow-up question would be, at what point did comedy or black comedy crystallize into that form that we recognize in terms of the Eddie Murphy? Where would you put that in terms of date, Anathema?
Me?
Yeah, where would you put? So
me personally.
Yeah, so for me, I would say Lenny Bruce.
When we could identify the characteristics of that genre, and we established that as a genre with its own unique characteristics to distinguish it from other forms of comedic acts.
Right.
When
we establish genre.
Where would you do it?
We're asking for time period.
Hold on. Let me and him just go, because y'all been going for a while. So what date would you put on it if you could put a date, Anathema?
A date on what?
On the characteristics that define
on creating the genre?
Yeah, that distinguishes the genre that you're referencing.
I would say it would have to be somewhere in the 70s, when after we had Black Power and we started to coalesce around blackness to a certain degree, where we attacked what was cool. We looked at our images to be more Afrocentric. We started to respect the legacy of art forms and be able to categorize them and critique them for failure to project certain images, but also respect them for as being involved in the development of the arts. So I would say it would have to be sometime in the 70s.
All right, beautiful. Stick a pin right there. We're getting somewhere. All right. So we've delineated that it's in the 70s where that specific genre crystallized. Okay, beautiful. Now, list out for me, if you could, what are the distinguishing aspects that define the genre that are distinct from the things that came out of the vaudeville and the minstrel stuff?
I just said that. I just gave you examples.
Say it again. Okay, so the Black Power stuff. What else? Repeat it again. I'm sorry.
The critiquing, the being able to critique the lack of a certain image projection, but also respect what they did artistically. You got Josephine Baker movies, but then you also got a critique of what she did socially. Some people don't like, some people do like. There's all different type of things that went on to crystallize what became what we call black, where you start making, where you can even call somebody a crossover sellout, where you can even come and start criticizing the race records and what people did to achieve success within that industry and made Motown into a whole music machine production, not just freewheeling artists. You needed Marvin Gaye and all of them to come out and express this new black consciousness.
Beautiful, beautiful. Would you say that Lenny Bruce would fit into that category that you're talking about right now?
And like I told you, one man don't make a genre. They start something. They build
fine.
on
That's not
something,
the
and
question.
then there's
That's
a
not the question.
legacy that builds.
Hold
Because
on.
you gotta have a tradition. You gotta have other artists within that to be a genre.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
But y'all use Eddie Murphy. But y'all use Eddie Murphy.
No, I didn't use Eddie Murphy. Vyasa's book used Eddie Murphy.
Chef,
Why do you
Chef,
keep saying y'all?
Yes, and you agreed.
Chef, hold
And you
on.
agreed with
I
it.
just defended his concept of genre.
Chef. I don't want it to get convoluted, right? We getting
Go
somewhere.
ahead. Keep killing him. Keep killing
All
him.
right.
Keep killing
He's
him.
not killing me.
Go ahead.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
I'm responding to a question.
Hold on, Anathema. Chill, relax. So, all right. So, boom. So you didn't answer my question. So, with it in mind, what you saying that one man don't create a genre. Okay, I concede all of that. So I'm now going to restate my question within that context. Would Lenny Bruce fit into that demarcation that you make of what define black comedy? Yes or no? Hello?
That right there is odd.
Huh?
That right there is an odd question.
What's odd about it? We already agreed that one man.
No. It's a very odd question to me.
Hold on. Listen, we already agreed that
because you're trying to see in your mind you're limiting black comedy.
Anathema, I'm not limiting anything. I already conceded to your very salient point that one person cannot make a genre. So I'm not trying to set up any gotcha moments. I've already conceded to that point that you made. Now, we can agree possibly that Lenny Bruce represents an outlier or an anomaly. All right? So with that established, let's say that Lenny Bruce is an anomaly. Would Lenny Bruce, as that anomaly, fit into that criteria that to your mind defines black comedy and coming into the consciousness and critiquing the government and having a pride and all of that stuff? Would he fit into that category regardless of if he represents an anomaly or not?
He would be in the subgenre of black comedy. If you want me to answer the question academically, yeah.
Okay, so there's something about what he did that was still distinct from what ended up happening in the 70s, is what you're saying.
No, what happened in the 70s would be a subgenre of black comedy too. Because once you say black comedy and you're creating a genre, then you got to go all the way back to all the historical comedians that was even doing.
Haskell, I have a question. If you could find what Lenny Bruce did before Lenny Bruce did it, would that make him, or would that change him being the progenitor of what you're saying?
I'm not claiming him as a progenitor.
Oh, no. Well, you keep saying his name. I'm just asking. Just simple.
Yeah,
not progenitor, maybe one of the more popularized ones, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to establish I'm trying to set some parameters here, right? Insofar as what, because we've agreed to what defines black comedy, right? It's specifically what we agree that it's what crystallized around the 70s. That's what Anathema agreed to with the Richard Pryors and the Red Foxes, and then carried on by Eddie Murphy, etc. Now that I've brought up Lenny Bruce and asked if he fits into that category, now he's reconstituting black comedy to encompass things that went on before that. So I want to point out that at this point,
that's what y'all agree to. Y'all 2 people or 3 people. That's what you 2 or 3 people agree to, right?
Yes, for purposes of the discussion, when we say black comedy, within the context of this discussion that we're having, one side says that crystallized around the 70s and 80s. The other side is saying that crystallization happened prior to that.
Now, hold on. By crystallization, do you mean what Stu Peak is talking about by a crossover, via being noticed and put in other places where more people can see you, possibly?
Yeah, you're having a different discussion. I want to hammer, because remember, Logic wasn't clear, and I don't believe that you were clear on the original argument, right? So I want to clear up the fact that Vyasa, and I know he's not here, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him, and Anathema, I'm clearing up or drawing bright lines around exactly what they were claiming and what we were claiming, so that everyone knows exactly what we've been quote unquote fighting over.
So what side are you on? That it did or didn't crystallize?
You gotta let him finish.
Anathema, hold on. So I'm trying to make things as clear as possible. No rewrite. Hold on. It's like, dude, come on. I don't want to mute you and be like a power a tyrant, but come on, man. Let's have a civilized discussion, right? I'm trying to draw some clear, bright lines here. On one side of the argument, people like me, Chef, and Stoopies are saying that the black comedy, as it's defined, right, by what crystallized in the 70s and 80s with the Eddie Murphys and the Red Foxes, etc., we're claiming that crystallization event occurred before that. On the other side of it, people like Vyasa and Anathema are saying, no, that crystallization event didn't happen until around the 70s, 80s.
Now, let me add something.
No, they said the 80s. They said
right.
the 80s was
So hold on.
No, the word crystallizes.
Let me make this clear. Let me make this clear for hits, right? Because the conversation isn't about did it get crystallized in mainstream, right? What we've agreed upon is that they actually had stand-up comedians before it becomes, at least from what I can tell, how he's using it, before it becomes crystallized in mainstream, right? So you actually have the art form existing in the black, I guess in the black community, but it isn't acknowledged until XYZ. That's just like the gist.
But hold on, crystallized. Let's use another word. Somebody give me another.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like that word crystallized. But
can I please respond? Y'all keep going all the way left, and y'all let him do this in the conversation. It's not what he asked me. What he asked me is when did the genre was created, and he keep trying to play semantics with the word. And I'm very serious when I say a genre. That's why I refer to the Jewish genre of literature, because there's certain things that happen when you acknowledge yourself as a people and you create this genre. And he asked me, when did I say the genre? And I said, I said around the 70s when we could look at all of this stuff as black comedy. So that means we go back to the Two Real Coons as black comedians and we criticize them. That's how you can even make this fucking argument that there were black comedians before and see the genre developing. That's why I brought up the whole show and the characters that were taken out of that and how black people changed and developed that. And we can see that in the genre of black comedy. And that didn't crystallize until the late 70s. It didn't become a genre like that until the late 70s. There was just people doing shit.
So is there anyone who disagrees that the art and the genre started at two different times? Anybody disagree with that?
I disagree. And this is what I'm saying. Let me say what I'm saying again. What was presented?
The same thing.
No. Can I speak?
Hold on. How could it be an art if it's not established already? Why would it even be called an art or art form? You can't. That's
because they were doing it.
No, hold on. Okay. So how can it be an art twice? How is it an art now and an art later?
No, so there's two different things, right? It's like we're talking about, we're acknowledging, yes, there were stand-up comedians on the Chitlin circuit, on the stage by themselves, right? And this is before it becomes an established genre. So the art actually did already exist. There were people doing it, and that's before it becomes recognized. So that actually is true. So that's why I'm trying to. So I feel like I've been there since the conversation started. You know what I mean? So that's why.
But y'all killing yourself when y'all use words like crystallized and established. Again, that goes. If it's an art and people are doing it, how is it not established? That goes back to that word crossover. It's the recognition. It's the recognition that y'all are saying established it. That again,
right. Yes, that's what they're saying.
Now you caught up, my nigga.
No, you're caught up. No, you're caught up.
No. I just didn't know who was saying. I just didn't know who was saying what. That's all. Because all these
yesterday, Vyasa was saying. At this point, Vyasa would be the only person saying the opposite, or maybe Anathema might be saying the opposite. But yes, what you said is what I agree with, and I guess unfortunately, Chef over here too. So yeah, that's what Chef.
No, you're caught
That's what
up.
Chef is saying. That's why Stu Peas is mad at me and they're yelling at me. Yeah, that's exactly what they talk about. Exactly. And
Yes,
I agree.
I was just unclear on who was on what side. I heard the discussions. I just didn't know who was on whose side.
Yeah, and then we got derailed momentarily.
The words started getting more intricate for people to make their point. That's all. So when you yell crossover out and the white man and this and that, and I'm like, okay, that's a more detailed, discussion. But
hip hop existed before Curtis Blow made his album.
That's
correct.
Right. So we're saying
exactly what we're saying.
Black comedy existed before Eddie Murphy did his 2 stand-ups.
Right.
That's what we're saying. Cool.
It existed before white people said it existed. Before the popular, before popular culture said it existed. That's my problem with it. That people is determined that it existed because popular culture decided that it existed. That's my problem. So now you see my problem. Now you realize why I would be mad.
No, I get it. I was thinking it's somewhere between. I know that you're mad.
Fucking dummy.
Yeah, it sounded like he was initially just mad about the acknowledgement period, right? So that's why I brought up the doctor and shit. I was like, nah, we like some of that acknowledgement we actually do use like in certain areas, right? So I was like, are you dismissing the acknowledgement altogether? So that's why maybe I got to derail it. You know what I'm saying? But that's where it sounded like he was at. But if it's just as simple as where they're
glad y'all was able to work that out after 2-3 days.
Yeah, after 3 days, as simple as where they're standing.
3 days to understand.
Corey, you're welcome. Corey, you're welcome.
Parameters of the genre. Black people did that. Not white people.
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up, sellout.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Cut me out before I even get to go through it to try to get to the point.
White people made
my point, man.
No, they did not. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, chill.
White people
we're not doing that. Chill.
You don't even know the history of black people.
White people call you a man. You was the man before white people call you a man. You weren't a man before white people call you a man.
Okay, hold on. Anathema.
You weren't either.
Simply, now hold on. Simply, what is your point to what we just all said? Like, just make your point. I ain't trying to rush you or nothing, but I want to understand your point why you and Stu Peas having this disagreement.
Y'all keep focusing on Eddie Murphy when Eddie Murphy was just used as one character in a genre.
White people say, you are anathema. And they say, yes, thank you, white people. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't sound like y'all disagreeing though. It sounds like y'all just trying to argue. What do y'all disagree?
White people left you trying for your 2 piece.
White people made you a man.
Hey, Kariel, I just read the back. Kariel, I just read the back chat. You funny as hell. I just want to say that.
You go in the chat and see Kariel starting trouble.
Never taught no class, never made no lesson plan, never made
you sound like Reginald. You start sound like Reginald. You start sounding like Reginald. That's what I know.
And anathema. I just hope. Now hold on, listen. 2 P's anathema. I just hope when I go to clip up the video, the computer can print out, or post on the screen the caption of what y'all saying. That's why I want y'all to be able to speak. It's already got to deal with that accent. It's already got to deal with that accent, but don't overload my computer now. That's why I want y'all to be able to talk. Go ahead.
There's powerful niggardry at work.
For no reason. Because none that Vyasa said disagree with their point. All Vyasa tried to say is that this time period black people formulated their genre and put it before the world.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's why I know that he's a sellout. He's a sellout, Negro. That's not what he said. You're trying to make up stuff now. You sellout, Negro, trying to make up stuff now.
That's what y'all agree.
You're a sellout, Negro. You're that dangerous nigga to have in the mist. You're a gorilla in the mist.
Why do you do those labels, man? I don't mind me. I'm not going to put the
You're that dangerous nigga to have in the mist.
Because you don't even have that type of speaking language. Everybody knows that. I don't mind being the ivory sign. Because you do not that sneak to think like that. That's me flipping your metaphor.
No, everybody see what you are. Everybody see what you are.
Come on. No, whoa. Let's get back to the topic. Listen, stop the personal shit. Chill. Yeah, stop the personal shit. Like it's not getting us nowhere. You know, I want to learn something. Now, hold on, listen. Listen, hold on. Now, hold on, chill. Listen, anathema. Me, like everyone else, wants to learn some new Jamaican cuss words, but we can't hear y'all. I want to learn the new Jamaican cuss words. I do. Trust me, we all do. But we can't.
Guess what? Let me tell you what you call him.
Hey, I don't know who's doing that.
I'd rather hear the intellectualism, though. Nah, go ahead.
I know, but goddamn.
So let me ask you, Stu Peas. What's going on now? Do you think the government is gonna open back up before it's time for folk to get their food stamps or what?
Listen, I'm glad that you shift the topic. I'm glad. I'm going to go with the shift. I am going to go with the shift. Right? I'm going to go with the shift. Yeah. I'm going to go with the shift.
Let's go. I want to know.
I need. Hell no, they ain't gonna open back up. Listen, Corey, they need to build a new ballroom in the White House and turn the White House into a palace. Damn your EBT.
Because I know it ain't nothing but bushy.
They don't care about y'all.
Hey, y'all right on. I don't know who's doing that, but goddamn.
It ain't me. Just know that.
The ballroom for the White House is going to be so beautiful. You see the pictures of
it's going to be a palace. I hope they make that big a palace.
It's $250 million. I don't know how you can spend $250 million on a room, right? But that motherfucker better have real diamond chandeliers in that motherfucker. The chandeliers better not be
when he leave, too, Corey. Corey, he gonna take all that shit when he leave. He gonna take all that when he leave, or rent it out. He gonna rent it out. He gonna lease it out when he leave.
Absolutely, it's definitely gonna be. He gonna make some money off of it.
That's a fact.
If you think he ain't gonna make no money off that motherfucker, you fooling yourself.
Fact. Or got a private hotel in the White House. Yeah,
you gonna definitely make some money on that motherfucker. If nothing
I hope he built a palace.
If nothing else, the Secret Service gonna take naps in that motherfucker every afternoon. He gonna charge them for it.
No, they gonna go in there and steal the expensive shit. Everybody know. Let me shut up. I ain't gonna talk about security companies. I'm gonna shut the hell up. Mind my business.
Hey, what y'all think?
Hell yeah.
Right.
Y'all heard about the lawsuit of $230 million?
Oh yeah, that's off the cuff. From the DOJ. Yeah, from fucking with him.
Department of Justice.
Oh yeah. He need that money too.
This nigga getting $250 million and a new ballroom off the taxpayer. That's that's $500 million right there, gone. And nigga can't
that's what you know about. That's just what you know about.
But Kyle, people are looking at me like I'm crazy when I'm asking myself, why the fuck would I call myself a black conservative? 2025.
Trump ain't no conservative. Trump ain't no conservative. I don't know why y'all keep calling that man conservative.
Let me just say hello for y'all niggas go left. Hey,
how you doing?
I just want to say what's up to y'all niggas, but I hear where it's going. So get the fuck out of here.
How's your lady doing, man?
They gotta keep her. She has some complications.
But we hear you.
They're
You
going
don't have to
to. I can't.
apologize
Who
no
the
more.
fuck is
Y'all gotta apologize
on the
no more.
plane wing?
Logic is skydiving.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell he doing. He's
somebody in
skydiving.
the wind turbine. I ain't
No,
gonna lie.
they gotta keep her. They're gonna keep her for like 2 or 3 days because she had a couple complications, but she good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We here.
Oh, you talking about your family members?
Yeah, my wife was in surgery today. That's why I wasn't with y'all today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's
No,
why
that's
I'm
cool.
here to start all
cool.
that.
It's all good.
Good luck.
Hopefully y'all had a good discussion, but Smalls just said some shit that I don't even feel like being in here for. So y'all.
Well, you know what? Been my bad.
At work.
No. Speak it, nigga. It's a free country.
No. Something more important. Yeah, something more important.
Hey, we all got shit going on, bro. My shit ain't no more important than y'all's.
I'm just saying, God bless your wife and good luck to her.
Appreciate it. Should be fine. Yeah. We got good Obamacare, man.
Absolutely.
An Obamacare. I told you you're the original troublemaker. I'm just filling in. I'm just filling in.
I know. I just want to say what's up and give niggas the update. Y'all go back to yelling at anathema CPs. If you want it recorded, let me know. But I'm home now. If you want the shit recorded.
Hey, it's already on YouTube. It's on Twitch. I'm on it.
I love you, but you ain't shit. just know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You could have been recording. The good part already gone. We didn't.
I got it. No, we good. We good. I got it.
YouTube the whole time.
You know we got notes. We can record this. We good, nigga. We ain't never not gonna record. It's really
right
not
on.
cleared up. We just overtalked anathema. Hold on, we just overtalked anathema. He really didn't concede. He don't agree to what. It's just that everybody in the room fully understand now the positions, and more people is going to align on the position of Stupies and Haskell, because it would be crazy to say black people wasn't doing black comedy before Eddie Murphy. That's nuts.
I don't think he's saying that though. I don't think he's saying that.
See? All right, so he not saying it today, but he was on the side of the argument that was saying that.
Okay, well, anathema, is that true? You believe
we had got too far down the river yesterday to change horses, Sheffrin?
Oh shit! Y'all ain't gonna let him live. No grace.
Ride it out. But
yeah. To be fair, Chef, that conversation yesterday was all over the place like bird shit. So just be fair.
Heard that and they ran with it.
Now he telling.
That's what they do, anathema. That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do, anathema. I know. I don't trust these niggas as far as I can.
So hold on. So what did he say then?
Several times in the background, he wasn't saying that, and y'all kept running with the argument different and pushing the argument.
So what did he say?
Y'all wanted to hear.
He was saying.
You said the same point I made. That's why I keep giving
he
you
wasn't.
Somebody said earlier in the chat. Somebody said, "Well, give me the Jewish this. Give me the." And I said, "Okay, there's a Jewish genre of literature with a whole lot of
Holocaust.
within that genre because you create a genre when you expressing yourself to the world because you want the world to know these characteristics and identify them and see the historical development of your art. So we did that. We said right now, these are the different standards of black literature, even to where we got sellout black literature or coon in black literature.
That's not what was said. That's not what was said, but I'm going to let you know. That's what he was saying in the book. No, bro, I'm not going to let you. Y'all
I didn't know, but what
right.
It was Chef. Say it right now, then. Say it right now.
I'm not going back to that. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about politics.
You got to remember the images they picked out were the post images of this irreverence coming through, but within that, you still got man. It's black comedy. It's not just the comedians. You understand? There's still humble comedy being produced that get put in the genre of black comedy.
Okay.
But you're saying okay
because I
though.
know it ain't nothing but
Wait. Yeah, and Chef, you're saying okay, but you were touting this particular genre. You were saying that this is so. Yeah, you got to make that make sense for me. That's why I'm conflicted. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know what the fuck to think.
Okay, is Stephen Fetchit part of black comedy?
I'm not. See,
or Amos and Andy,
listen,
like.
I'm cool with being confused. I'm cool. If don't nobody know what nobody's saying, listen. If don't nobody know what nobody's saying,
I know exactly what I'm asking. A simple question.
I know you know what you're saying, but I don't know what you're saying, and I'm not even sure. Listen. I'm not sure what the fuck I'm saying no more. So I'm done with it.
Hey, that deserves a bomb. I'm giving you a bomb for that.
That's just.
I'll give that out of this world.
So Chef, he done confused you to where you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
I'm glad he finally admitted to it. He don't know what the hell he talking about.
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way.
So if I
and it's
go
your
back,
fault. Hey, it's your fault. Chef don't know what the hell he talking about. I blame all y'all.
Is that what really just happened? He confused you so bad you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Nope. Y'all. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. We just got
Hey, DQ, you was in here at the beginning. So just so you know, that's why I was confused earlier this morning. Cause nobody know what the fuck they talking about, and we all just admitted it.
You know how y'all do that clarity? How y'all get the clarity?
Hey, I don't know how Brads do it. I don't know how Brads do it. Once I leave here, I ain't coming back for about a week and a half. Y'all ain't gonna see me at Christmas. I can't do it. Jesus Christ. I'll stay in the back on the tech shit.
It was the expectations, bro. You can't be disappointed unless your expectations is off, bro. That's what it is.
DQ, that's why I was confused, bro. And I wasn't losing my fucking mind. I just want to say that.
Smile. Relax, bro.
Now hold on, Logic. Hold on, Logic. Try to give us a quick fix. It's just lower your expectations. Don't do that.
Bro, you got to, bro. You have to, bro. Chef, she just told you he don't mean that shit, bro.
Can I
it's tough enough out here. Now I got to lower my expectations on
how bad it really is. Something other than comedy. Like we done went on that road. You can explain something, but it's got to be something different than rather niggas had.
It's gonna be real simple. I'm gonna give you an analogy as an educator so y'all can understand. All right, say I got a class, right, and I got to teach. I got to teach romantic literature, right? So we're in the genre of romantic literature, right? When Wordsworth starts writing what we call romantic, he's not calling himself a romantic literary writer. He's just a writer. But then he writes something, and several other writers and authors imitate that style and explore that style, and it becomes a whole thing that we call the genre of romantic literature. So now I can teach the genre of romantic literature, although the people that was there writing it never called themselves that. They were writers. You understand? Just like a comedian was a comedian. But now that we established what a black genre of comedy is, we can go back and look at all the tradition of people within the different subcategories of that genre. I don't know why this is not clear to people.
Because we was talking about mainstream.
That's pretty clear.
You're talking about
I could have sworn we was clear that they was doing the same shit, and then it became mainstream. Like you're saying that they was never doing the shit until it became mainstream. I think that's
right. Nobody ever made that argument.
I never said that right now. What are you talking about?
He didn't say that right there. I'm gonna stand up for you at that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're comparing it to something.
What I'm saying, Corey, he whatever direction he taking it in now is not what we've been
talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Fine. He pulling.
what happened
I
is
ain't
when
gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
But
that's what me. You
Vyasa
put Chat GPT on y'all.
he used the word pop culture. Stu Pease hopped on that word pop and used that to say appealing to white people and doing this. And
What popular culture mean?
At that time, Vyasa was speaking in colloquial phrasing.
You were saying something different than Vyasa.
I heard it to mean. No, I'm just telling you what I heard.
That's why you argue.
I came in defending him. I heard it
Let
to
me
mean
tell you,
that now we have popularized our art form.
Listen,
we
one second.
Our genre.
One second, John. 1 second, Anathema. Let me tell you, the reason why you keep running into an argument is because you are saying something different than Vyasi. That's what the problem is. So your argument is different from Vyasi, but you're trying to back Vyasi. You that's not going to work for you. That's why you keep running into the argument, bro.
No, I'm backing the importance of establishing a genre and making that.
And what you said made all the sense in the world, right? But what they're saying is you were backing yesterday. Now you might have been confused on what he was saying, but yesterday you were on the side of these niggas wasn't even doing this kind of comedy. This is what
that's what they were hearing.
This is what Vyasa was saying, and you weren't saying that, obviously, because that's not what you're saying today. So
no, that's not what I was.
Yeah, you were guilty by association. You was associating yourself with Vyasi, but you wasn't. That was not your argument. That's all.
My argument was just about the concept of genre. And that's
not what he was arguing about. That's what Vyasi was arguing about. He wasn't arguing about the concept of a genre.
Oh, yeah. Him jumping a beating that him shouldn't get. That's what he did. He jumped in a beating that he shouldn't get.
And you shot.
Yeah.
Are you really arguing about the term pop culture?
No.
So pop culture is not the issue here. It's not pop culture. Is not the issue.
It was a trigger word. It was a trigger word, and this is what I was saying to Chef and y'all before. Some of us listen a lot, right? And y'all say certain words that if people could come off the mic, regardless of what your intent was, if you mention certain words, people want to comment and add into that. Not just for the discussion, but maybe for the listener, just to add some context or just a different nuance or just even some information. I know y'all be in these heated back and forths, but when someone comes, you already know what we're talking about. You let people talk. Everybody can't come off the mic, instantly to add to a conversation. So for the audience sake, sometimes let the people just get their point. It may agree with you, it may disagree. It may not have nothing to do with your main topic, right? But it may add to the conversation later on with people who want to hear it in the future. So give us some grace. God damn. Lots of room.
So what's the whole thing with pop culture? Like
it hits. Oh no, Cuban. The issue. I'm gonna tell you what the issue is. Because you could use the words pop culture, Cuban. You're really it's a code word for white culture. It's not pop. There's no such thing as pop culture. Pop culture is just the masses in the United States.
In America,
right. So it seems that when you say pop culture in a statement like that, it is gonna, especially the Stu Pease who hates white clouds because they white. So he, nigga puts ketchup on his rice so he can watch white shit bleed.
I wouldn't take that stupid.
I'm sure that nigga puts, he puts ketchup on his rice so he can watch white rice bleed.
That kind of what we were talking about this morning, as in okay, so whenever you want to say the genre was established, I didn't understand why that was particularly egregious, right? Like that was where the word genre became a part of our conversation. You know what I'm saying? But it was always about, there was never no confusion about saying what pop culture meant white culture. We weren't confused about that.
Pop culture pop culture is a fad. It's what's popular presently. Treasure trolls is pop culture. Garbage Pail Kids is pop culture. You see what I'm saying? Pop culture.
Treasure trolls and Cabbage Patch Kids and shit was a trend. That wasn't pop culture. That was like something that caught on. Taylor Swift is pop culture. Like she's literally.
But she's not always going to be that though. But she's not always going to
be able to leave pop culture.
Beyonce is pop culture.
NSYNC at one time was Beyonce is now right now pop culture. It's not a what they're talking about. What Stu P's issue is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Stu, but based off what I know about Stu, his issue is, why the fuck does something got to be validated by white people? Why do black people got to have something validated by white people to make it exist? So if we was doing comedy before that, how you going to say we wasn't doing comedy because white people didn't say we was doing comedy? We were still doing comedy. Hey, hold on, before y'all start yelling at Anathema. But Anathema, your point is valid. You're just not speaking to his point. Your point is that, but y'all always gonna disagree because he's saying, and he's not wrong in his premise. He's just not wrong. He's wrong in the definition. You trying to bring the literal definition, and I don't know if you right or wrong. You probably not, but he's not wrong either. It can't just because they called it black comedy when they chose to make it black comedy or racialized it or whatever, or created the term. We were still doing. You'd have to agree. Whatever we was doing, it was black comedy before they said it. You'd have to agree, no matter what any book said.
Why didn't you hold on?
Hold on, let Cuban build. Hold on, Anathema, hold on. Because hold on, Cuban is low. His mic is low. Let Cuban build. Go ahead, Cuban.
So in regards to pop culture, you guys are talking about like music. This is what we're talking. Music, pop culture, right? So if it's music,
why y'all keep saying
comedy?
Oh, comedy.
They was talking about comedy.
They're talking about comedy.
But Brad just set Anathema off again. Every time y'all say his name, y'all set him off, yo.
I'm not worried about setting somebody off.
He can wait.
Still peace. I'm not curbing my speech so that nigga be happy. I'm just trying to mediate the shit so they'll stop arguing.
Stu P's, one sentence. Now, hold on. Stu P's, one sentence. Cuban, I'm going to say one sentence, I'm done. Pop culture is a place, not a person. It's a place. It's not a person. You agree or you don't agree?
This place mean like the state of what it is socially in the world? Like
pop is short. Hold on. Pop is short for popular. So whatever is popular, now we ain't gonna get into how it got popular because nobody wanna hear that shit, right? Yeah. Cuban, you know nobody wanna hear that. It's what's popular. That's what pop is short for, popular. Okay. So popular culture, and whoever brought up Cabbage Patch and Taylor Swift, all of that is correct. It's for what is popular. It's a place. It's not a person or a thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because y'all talking about comedians. For me, I look at it like, yeah, number one, I don't think somebody else they validate, they call something so therefore it's validated. Like no, it was already happening, and I look at it like you're late to the party. So you're late to black comedians when you deem and start making, oh, this is popular culture, this is pop culture, this comedian is pop culture. Like, no, you're just late to the party of the comedian. Like the person was doing comedy before you fucking, maybe before you were born, and so you're now calling something popular. Like
that was a great analogy. That's a great analogy, though.
That's a subjective, objective thing because what's popular to one person may not be popular to another person.
You're onto it. You're walking through it there. You're getting there.
Yeah, but
you can't have the discussion without understanding what makes it popular. And some people ain't gonna let y'all just sit. No, listen, some people ain't just gonna let y'all sit on calling something pop or popular. without understanding what makes it popular, how it got popular.
We know that. We know that.
Oh, no, okay. Oh, so you know that. You know that.
We know. We know
you
that.
know that. You know
so
that. Well, y'all, but hold on. Again, this ain't about you or three of y'all on the panel. It ain't about three of y'all on the panel. No, you keep talking about 3 or 4 people, Chef. Other people's listening. Ed Breeze be trying to add to some shit.
I'm not worried.
But see, pop culture to you might trigger.
I'm not worried.
No, pop culture for you might trigger for you to think or say something. And somebody else is going to trigger something else they may think or want to say. That's all. Let people just say. That's all I'm saying. You don't got to agree with what you're saying.
What is pop culture?
No.
Pop culture.
What popular?
So Frankie Beverly, Beverly and Mace. Frankie Beverly and Mace was already known and widely acclaimed in the black community, right? Before a couple years ago, they had just made it to national television, right? Does that mean that Frankie Beverly and Mace wasn't already established and that all of their best music had already been made? You feel me? So them being acknowledged for the first time in 2021, that they was already that to us. We already validated them. That's the point. We can do our own validation. We don't need them to recognize us for us to be fucking valid.
No one disagreed. No one disagreed with that.
But that's the point. That's the point that we were making.
Yeah, so it don't make Frankie and Beverly and Maze pop culture. Pop culture is a place. On their little TikTok dances where people were dancing to his shit when he passed away. Now hold on. All black people know you play Before I Let Go at every party, wedding reception, every function we have. We know that. We know that. Hold on, we know that. But for it to hit TikTok and be a popular trend, which is a new word now for what? Popular culture. It's only going to be there for a minute. It's a place. It ain't a person. It's a place. Pop culture and trending shit like is a place that anybody can hold at any time. Not saying you could choose to hold it, but people come and go out of that space, whether by their own mechanisms or other mechanisms. It's a space.
So the term the term that should be used, being that it's a place, should be pop entertainment. Is that what you like? That would be more accurate versus because pop culture, the culture is
you can take culture off the end of it. It's just popular.
Let me say
None of y'all know what pop culture is.
Let me comment on this. I think you got a colloquial reference for pop culture in the black community where we immediately hear that and we think white people because they dominate the society. So anything that is what you would call, how we use the term popular, they're probably going to participate in more in terms of the society. So they're going to be the ones in the trends, the fashion, the whatever. They're going to even take from you and make it more popular than you. So we got this negative connotation. But me, as an educator, when I hear pop culture, I immediately go to Andy Warhol and I go to the modernism and what the fucking term actually meant, a fast, whimsical art that was not meant to do anything but move the masses for a moment. And that's why Andy Warhol became important, because he's the actual one that created that phrase. And that's how it entered the vernacular. And then once it became popularized, a term in pop culture, other people picked it up, used it as a reference for other things. The media got involved. So I react to the term completely different. I don't hear it unless I know I'm talking to a black person, and he say, "Oh, that's pop," and I know he mean white folk. But if I'm just listening rhetorically, I put all of that in the context to see, okay, he's not talking academically or from a real understanding. He's just making a reference, and he's trying to refer to white people using this pejorative or negative connotatively term, which is cool. But yeah, people are different.
That's a good point. The Andy Warhol reference and everything.
Yeah, but pop culture ain't got. It's not It's not like white or none of that. You know what I mean? You ain't pop culture unless you international. Like Michael Jackson was international. Taylor Swift is international. They're not for just America. You're not pop if only American. Like they got to like you in Germany. They got to like you in Egypt. They got to like you in goddamn Ghana. Like they got to like you everywhere. Drake go everywhere. Drake is pop culture. They listen to Drake everywhere. It's not y'all all looking at it the wrong way.
No, it is pop. But how does it get over there, Corey? No, hold on. Because again, some people are gonna ask more questions. How does it get overseas? How does it get to Denmark? How does it get to Algeria? How does it get to Taiwan? How does Drake get over there? Over top people they already have there.
Those places follow American entertainment.
No, I'm saying, how does, now again, in 2025, the device in your hand can do all of that. But how does somebody in India get to hear Drake over an Indian artist? I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and talk about that. How do they get to hear that?
What do you mean? Go ahead, just elaborate on it.
No. It's for it to become popular in India,
because they
which has their own artists and their own culture and their own creators. How does Drake become super popular over there?
Artists.
Because they follow American
artists over there already. They make songs. They collaborate with them and shit like that.
Okay, said Breeze. They follow American entertainment. It has to show up 2025 in their timeline algorithm, right?
Yeah, they got the same devices we got.
So it has to.
Michael Jackson didn't have a damn smartphone.
Yeah, but they had a radio over there.
All right. Michael Jackson became pop culture.
Said Breeze know about. PQ know about international copyrights and publishing. Said Breeze, talk to them, please.
I don't know my answer. They had a radio station before they had smartphones and all that. They got shit.
Michael Jackson when he left Jackson 5 and went over to the white label, they pushed him into pop. Michael Jackson, although Jackson 5 was very popular, the popularity came directly from the black. Oh, these dudes are good. And then Michael Jackson went over to the white labels and they introduced him to the popular culture.
Yeah, but that's been going on forever, though.
Let me finish. People don't want to use the term popular culture as what it's intended for. Pop culture means white culture. There's no erasing that. It's not a place.
In America, it means white culture.
It is a place. It's a mechanism. It's a mechanism.
In Africa or Nigeria don't mean white people.
Facts. But I'm sure they have their own popular culture over there, right? I'm sure they have their own over there.
The masses are currently, all aware about. They're all aware of it. They just
when they
follow it. It's like wearing Jordans, like that. We made it popular, but like people started wearing it. Everybody started wearing it.
When they talk about pop culture, they're talking about marketing.
We are talking about
who they're marketing to?
Of America. Hold on. I think we are talking about in the context of
in America. We're talking about.
We were talking about.
In America, the whites are ruling class, so it's going to be popular amongst them.
But I took the black comedy and then started talking about pop culture. That's two different.
Exactly.
But they're popular, black mainstream. Y'all say crossover. That's what the fuck y'all talking about. That's what y'all talking about. Crossing over in mainstream.
I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about no more.
Nah, y'all say words and think people don't hear y'all. That's the problem. No, you think the only person that hear y'all is a nigga you arguing with, and that's wrong as fuck. That's not the only person. Listen, so when you yell out a word, everybody might have a different understanding of that word.
But check it out, though, Hits. I only want to get through to the nigga I'm talking to. Because everybody is going to try.
Well, then go on the back chat. Why are you on the panel then? Why are you on the panel?
Listen, I'm trying to get the nigga that I'm talking to I'm having a conversation with him. I'm sorry if you can't follow it.
Young folks have a phrase, self-awareness. Where you at? You on a panel with eight people, you might have 30 people watching, and you just sometimes trying to win a goddamn argument. That's okay though.
I'm talking to.
Oh, that's you. That is you. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
The reason why I gotta do it like that is because there's too many people talking, jumping in with their own points. I don't care. You gotta be able to cancel the noise out. You got to. I can't respond.
Yeah, you can't entertain all.
What's noise to you is music to other people.
See, well, that's why you ain't good at this. That's why you're not good at this. Because you don't know how to cancel everything else out.
I'm not good at what? No, hold on. No. Tell me the definition of this.
No, I'm making my point. You're not good.
No, you said I'm not good at this.
And focusing on the conversation at hand without everybody else jumping in. No, you're not. You're not.
Okay. That's your opinion. That's cool though. I think you're not good at realizing other people are listening, and you just can't yell out words without people formulating their own ideas and having something to add to it, not just to argue with you, but to realize other people are fucking listening, maybe can't come off mute. You're horrible at that.
I think they get it.
You're horrible at that.
I really do.
Y'all carry a same fucking topic over 3 days. Y'all really think people are stupid. You're horrible at that.
I think people get it.
No, well, then you don't have to say it 100 times.
No, people choose.
Oh, they get it. That's why one topic can go over 3-4 weeks because everybody got it the first time. That makes a whole lot of sense.
That's because we like talking about it. And we like arguing with people that we.
You and 3 and 4 people, but there's more people in here. Go ahead, said Breeze. My bad.
If you don't like it, then
no, I don't really have a point to add. I'm trying to follow y'all, honestly. I'm new to the convo.
This been existing before.
Said. When you hear things like pop culture, I'm sure there's things that trigger in your brain. You're an artist, you're a creator. There's certain things that trigger.
I mean, I thought
you can add to the conversation.
I thought we all kind of got the same understanding of what popular culture would be.
Yesterday, when
it's a self-describing term. It's a self-describing term. It's like you don't need to be confused by it. Now what you may put in that could be a discussion like what may be more popular than others, but that's a separate thing than what the term popular culture just means by itself.
What it means?
And then too.
What it means?
No, hold on. I'm gonna say another word to say
popular, like we gotta
say when you hear crossover, what do you think? Say when you hear a word like crossover as an artist, what do you think?
The first thing I think of like crossover music, like people who cross over into other genres, but I mean it could be used in a different context too. I don't know, what the conversation is all about, honestly. For me to make a
they said Breeze.
The context clues in the words that they use.
In the word.
I know, but I want to use a person.
Don't be rocket science.
He said Breeze. I want to use a person though.
In the overall general conversation.
I don't know if that Breeze. I want to ask you a question. I want your question, bro. Pop culture is a place, right? So because you was cool, not cool, but because it is. It's a place. It's not a thing. It's a place. It's where you end up.
It's over time. Like that.
It's like a place. Gotcha. Like you reside in pop culture or you don't. You aren't pop culture because you can be removed from that. But let me ask you a question. I'm gonna bring up J. Cole, right?
Describe it. That's not a place.
Okay.
It is a place. It is a place.
No. Listen. It's not a place.
The king of pop is considered black.
As a noun,
it's not a place.
I'm gonna be quiet. Okay, that means
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Let's just say it was Michael Jackson. Okay, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna be done. Say it was a person, Michael Jackson. He died. Does that mean pop culture died? Fuck no. Go ahead, Brad. My bad.
All right, so the reason why I'm asking
is an idea.
It's an idea. Person, place, an idea. It would be an idea.
It's a place. Go ahead.
It's a noun.
That don't make that. That's an idea, bro. That ain't no
I will mute all of y'all. Brass can't yell. I will mute the fuck out of all of y'all. Let Brass finish his
Person,
point.
place, thing, or idea.
All right, whatever. Let Brass finish. Let Brass finish.
Let's agree. I agree.
Let Brass anathema. Let Brass finish.
Compound noun.
I agree. That's fine.
If y'all was wrong.
Okay, it's an idea. I don't care. I still want to have the conversation. So with J. Cole, right? Remember when like J. Cole was trying to get on? Like when he was like, I guess before Jay found him. And then he started rapping with Jay. He started becoming like going into pop culture. I guess he was coming into the idea of pop culture. And then when he dropped, what's that album where he's sitting on the house?
Forest Hills Drive.
Forest Hills Drive. When he dropped Forest Hills Drive, he became all genres at once. I think that's when he became pop culture, not just like, not just hip hop.
Yeah, I agree.
Not
We
just a
had
back,
fucking
you know what I'm
moms in
saying?
fucking Wisconsin that knew who he
Right.
was.
Y'all had white moms crying. I seen that shit on what's the name? It was like moms taking their daughters but going with them. Fathers going, white fathers and shit, going with their sons to concerts and knowing the lyrics and crying and shit. So I would agree, that's fine. If it's not a place, then I would agree on an idea like a shared space or something like that. That's fine. But I'm saying, to me, that's what pop culture in my mind would apply like to you. Like there's a time when J. Cole was just a backpacker or underground. Not a lot of people knew him. But then he made some shit that put him in that idea or in that shared space of.
Yeah, it makes everybody aware of who you are to a degree. Right. They may not know everything, but they know that one thing that crossed over into that world that they now know as what we now know as pop culture.
Yeah, now you can go to Bulgaria. Niggas know J. Cole. They might not be able to speak the English of it, but they know the nigga, and you could book a concert in Bulgaria. You now pop culture, bro. You just a part of the, of the thing, and you can get removed from the thing. You can get removed from it too.
But Brass, I agree with you, Brass. But one thing you have to take into consideration today, Brass. Hip hop is no longer primarily black culture. Hip hop and rap is no pop culture. Hip hop is now universal. So when we use hip hop artists, it's kind of tricky because hip hop or rap now is not a genre specific to race. So hip hop is no pop culture.
All you gotta do is look at the top 10 Billboard songs.
Just so we clear,
you look at the top 10 Billboard songs,
and
you can see what's popular.
I'm not talking about. Just so we clear, I'm not talking about y'all argument. I don't even want to participate in that argument because I don't know nothing about the argument. I was just trying to get an idea, a shared idea, what at least said, because he worked with J. Cole, to see if maybe me and him could agree on at least what pop culture is, maybe to me and him. I don't know what the whole thing y'all talking about. Y'all can.
You was here yesterday, though, bro.
No, I was in the hospital. I just didn't tell you that. I was barely listening, bro.
Yeah, so yesterday the way Vyasa used, or at least the way Stu P's attacked it, right? I'm not even so sure Vyasa went this particular way, even though he said that they didn't have
down
black.
On it, though, Logic. Did he?
I might have missed it. I remember him saying the black comedians part. I do remember him saying that they only had minstrel shows, and they had minstrel shows in the fucking.
Yeah, the anger logic, because pop culture to Stu P's is white culture. That's why I said that earlier.
No, yeah. So
But is he saying that in a sense like it's popular, it's popular culture?
And I don't disagree with that.
Get a hold of
the way it was being used.
What he said yesterday, and not Corey, Chef, you right. This part I did hear, but I was in the car looking like a crackhead trying to record this shit. But what I did hear, and I understood Stu P's anger after the fact. I didn't understand it initially, but then after the fact, when he doubled down, at least from what I heard in my ears, and anathema, you can start yelling as soon as I'm done, but to me, it sounded like, in no uncertain terms, y'all were saying black comedy didn't exist until white people said it existed. And that kind of, that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, that's why he's mad. Not just mad or whatever. And then when y'all kept going and doubling down, it was like, well, we had comedy before they said it, and then dark comedy was something, dark comedy and black comedy and all that. That's the y'all talking past each other because one trying to be literal and one is just trying to make sure that black people's place in history is respected. Y'all both right, but y'all just enjoy, arguing. It is what it is.
I don't agree that it becomes pop culture just when white people get it. Like there's
But that's
trends
what they were saying, though.
there's trends that skip them. Like
that's how he was using.
No, but that's
there's
the way
trends
he
that
put it
skip them.
yesterday.
Like
Said
in
Breeze. That's the
fashion,
way
you
he
go to
put it yesterday.
Japan. If you go to Japan, you'll see them dressing
No, but you're
very
trying
similar to
you're
us that
trying to
white people
override the
don't
original
do.
Hold on,
argument.
Stu
No.
Peas, Stu Peas. Hold on, Stu Peas.
Hey,
Let say
Breeze wasn't
finish.
even here for the original argument.
Now I'm just
No,
saying, like
let
Hold
him
on,
say
let Say
Breeze
finish.
talk.
I
Let him talk.
see
Let's say what
situations
he's
like
saying.
if you go to
Let's say
Japan,
go.
you'll see people, dressing similar to some of the trends that only exist within black culture, but it's popular amongst them, us, but all white people not participating in that. They don't always jump on everything that we do that's popular, so it can skip them as well. I've seen
But
it.
they were having a
Yeah,
language
but
conversation. Hold on, Stu. I'm trying to explain to him yesterday, Stu.
thank you,
I'm not
Stuart.
trying to cut.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Go
not trying
ahead.
to.
Thank you. I
Yeah, I'm trying to
appreciate
explain
that.
that part.
Mm.
What
Go
the book that the guy was saying, Vyasa was saying, black comedy before, like, and we're just talking about English, like the dictionary definition of the words black comedy together. He's saying that the words didn't exist before the 80s. And then once white people basically was commercializing it and you get the Eddie Murphys and stuff like that, then the term black comedy is switched to, because they decided it, now all of a sudden Eddie Murphy's black comedy, and it skips 200 years of us already being a part of it. So before they created the term black comedy, so they were having a literal conversation where Stu Pease was right and they were somewhat right, because I don't know about the dates and all of that. That's why I just backed out of the conversation. But it's more of it's not like a thing like you saying like the Wu-Tang in China and shit like that. It's more about a thing like the English, the actual term black comedy. Vyasa was being very literal in the conversation. And that kind of ticked Stu Pease off, because once it boiled down to everything, then Vyasa's point kind of did seem like he was saying it wasn't necessarily there was no black comedy until white people said so, because that's how I took it. I just didn't get mad at it because I ain't feel like arguing. But after a while, when you just keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down, and you're not even trying to recognize black comedy before they said it was black comedy, then now I'm gonna start thinking you just need white people to say it's black comedy so that it is black. That's the way I took the argument. Y'all could change it or whatever.
No, you was right. You was
I
right.
don't
Okay,
know
He
about
now,
made
the other
he.
now,
side though.
That's why he kept relating it to mental.
let me
Hold
say
on, Stu
thank you,
Peas.
bro.
Hold on, Stu Peas.
Let me
Let
say
Logic
thank
go.
you.
Go ahead.
This is my
Hold
conversation.
on, Stu Peas. Let
Thank you,
Logic
bro.
go.
Logic was
Thank you,
done.
sir.
Hold
Thank
One
you.
at a
Thank
time,
you.
bro.
Logic was
bro.
done.
Thank
Hold
you.
on.
I
Hold
Logic
disagree.
on.
was done.
Let Logic go.
Yeah,
Let Logic.
I'm gonna be quick, Stu Peas. But yeah, I was just. But you're right, because that's why he actually kept going back to minstrel shows, and that was definitely a part that I didn't agree with what you're talking about. But that's where the other part of the conversation came in, as far as whenever you want to date it, like what's wrong with dating that? That's when they acknowledge, and that's when we got into having all kind of different ass.
Yeah.
All right, let me say this. Thank you, Brass. I appreciate you. I know that my accent sometimes confuse people,
Yes,
but
killing
I
my computer.
don't
Go ahead.
need. Listen, I don't need white people. Let me say this. I don't need white people to validate who I am. You don't need white people. And if we rely on white people to validate us, we are in a bad situation. Black comedy existed long before white people said black comedy existed. And that is all I was trying to prove. And people going around
Who
the bush,
said validate?
label, of course, validated. That's what they did.
No. Who said that? So I ain't kicked them
Well,
out the
when
Discord.
Vyasa,
It
Who
was
said that
validate
word
in the
hold
it was
validate?
on. Hey,
validate in the
hold
way that
on.
there's no stand up
Kicking them out.
comedian.
No, nobody
Y'all
was using the
crazy.
word. No,
Okay.
nobody was using the word
Stupid is
validate.
wrong.
It's just
Vyasa never
Vyasa.
said that.
Hold on, bro. I'm not anathema. Nobody is saying what you're saying. I'm talking about Vyasa. I couldn't even hear your argument in the car. What I'm saying with Vyasa, that's why Chef said the doubling down. Because even when Stu Pease would show this was black comedy, this was black comedy, this was black comedy, then the nigga started saying shit that even I took offensive, or maybe I heard him wrong. Because then they started saying, not they, I'm going to say him. he started making references to like that wasn't even black comedy. That was like the Chitlin circuit, or that wasn't even black comedy. That was like
basement. It was basement comedy.
Yeah, it was basement comedy, some shit. And then it
What
was
the hell
like,
is that?
all right. And that's why I said you dug in. Sometimes when niggas read books, they take, you know, and I'm a nigga, I read the Bible, so I know what that means. But sometimes niggas read books and they just be like, this is what it is, fuck my common sense, fuck the, you know, that is 2025. So whatever that book said, he's dug in on that book and just let him be dug in on the book.
Yeah,
bro.
it's like you don't process. It's like you don't process the information for yourself to make sense out of it. Right?
You take face value from it.
But too, it has a lot to do with intent.
Internalize it and make sense out of it.
But a lot of it has to do with intent. And if y'all talking about a person, and I didn't hear what Biasa said, and a lot of times it may or may not matter. If you know the person's intent, and if his intent was good, and you disagree, that's something different, or he couldn't back it up. Now, hold on. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
Came from a malicious place. It was just a bad
okay. There we go. Because intent is it should mean something to us. And again, just to clarify,
he pro-black.
Okay,
he was coming
okay.
from a good place.
Now, listen. Just so people know where TMI come from, right? We down with education and listening to people and letting people get their thoughts and all of that shit off. But don't think for a second we not trying to understand why and how shit work the way it do. So again, it may just be me or 3 or 4 of us in here who can and can't come off the mic sometimes. When we hear certain words, we want to interject or inject just some more to that. Please don't take offense to that.
No,
but let this. We got teachers in here. Hold on. We got hold on. We got teachers in here. We got people from all walks of life, all different age groups, and eventually somebody gonna hear or watch this shit.
Yeah, but you're minimizing it. You're minimizing it when you do that.
Now, hold on, Stupies.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. I heard you. Hear me out now, please. Hear me out now, please. Hear me out now, please.
See, you just went against what and Stupies, let me tell you something.
No. Because
hold on. Let me say, Stupies, let me say this. Hip hop is 80s. Hip hop is 80s. That's why anybody can do it. Because somebody laid down some tenements to what the fuck it is. That's why anybody can do it. To answer you real quick on what you said, hip hop is 80s. When somebody said you could dance, you could DJ, you could rap and spray paint on the wall, then you hip hop. Bullshit. That's when hip hop is. So that's another conversation. Let people build, even if sometimes they disagree. But our listeners, I will hope, if not now, at some point, want to know how some of these mechanisms work. And we got people in here who can explain that and expound on that. Just give them a fucking chance sometimes. I know the point, the argument is cool, but goddamn, we here to understand some shit.
Explained it good though. I think Anathema explained the nuance of it.
He was pretty clear
and the technicality of it pretty good. Like I mean, we was all learning.
Fucked it up.
Oh, I fucked it up. Can I speak now?
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
Can I speak now? All right. We are in a Discord.
HPP, let me say this. Just because a person can explain something in detail, right, don't mean that we have to agree with his end conclusion. So I can agree that, you know what I mean, he laid that shit down. He understood the inner working of it, talking about anathema, but his end conclusion, I disagree with it. So
all right, no, this is my
and I'm into hip hop. Then I'm going to say
no. I am saying hip hop culture. No, that's all I said. All I said was hip hop now is popular culture, and that's not wrong. Everybody now doing hip hop. It's not restricted to anyone group. Okay, yes, thank you. But this is what I'm saying. Let me finish, please.
And I can agree with it until that nigga say the Egyptians was black. And then that's when I say, all that shit you said was good till you got to this point. So your conclusion is fucked up. But your understanding of the data, Reggie he be on point.
Yeah. But the problem is that Sheffrin faced it and Corey faced it. That's why I got respect for them. When you're in a discourse and you encounter somebody and what they come with sound good, and then you give them clarity on the situation, but yet still they're running with the bad impression, what are you supposed to do then? You hear them out, but you tell them that, listen, let me finish. Chitlin mean black. So when people say chitlin, it mean black, right? Popular culture mean white. Nobody can dispute me on those two facts.
I agree with that. Facts. That's a good one. That was a great analogy. That is right. Chitlin means black. Pop means white. That is perfect. That's how
Okay. Hold on. Stop. Let's stay right there. Watch this. No. Hold on. Nope. See, y'all flying. No, listen. Nope, y'all flying. No, Sid Breeze just brought up something. And y'all missed it because y'all flying.
So you gonna disagree with
y'all? Now hold on, let me just say it, Jeff. Just let me say it. He said international. There are people who are international.
We're not talking international.
No. Hold on. Popular.
I was saying. I wasn't saying.
When you popular, okay, but if you popular across the globe, you're telling me now. Now let me finish my simple statement. If you're popular, somebody brought up being popular across the globe, whoever that was, right? So if you are, y'all would say that the globe is majority white people. That's what y'all are just now saying.
You can listen to everybody, yo.
You can listen.
No, you got me.
Okay, deal with that though. Deal with what I said.
No. Remember what I told you. I only focus on the person that I'm talking to. So you just took it off.
That's you. I'm not.
No, you
deal with that.
I said you bad at this because you just
don't. No. You think you good at it. That's the problem. You think you good at it.
You just do.
No, somebody brought up global popularity. Is that true or false? Yes, they did. The majority of the globe is not white. So how can pop culture only relate to white people unless you do what Stu P said, bring it right to American white people? You think you're good at it. You think you're good at it. You're not. So you're better off sitting on your platform with a microphone in front of you, talking to yourself. That's when you're good at it.
No,
not here.
You just fucked up with your stand.
No.
You just
no. You're saying that.
I'm going on.
Popular culture means white people in a colloquial sense. But in a realistic sense, someone brought up earlier that it could be global popularity. The majority of the globe is not white people.
Your point, yo.
Y'all gonna keep losing on that.
Hey, you see, that's why. Chef, that's why
if he's saying chitlin mean black,
that's why
in America, then popular culture would.
He knows that we're talking about in America, and Hitch knows that shit. He playing games. I hate when niggas do that.
You made that up.
And they think that shit is clever. Like, cut it out, bro.
I don't think none is clever. Y'all saying words. Y'all saying words. Watch what words you say then. Stop saying words.
Yeah, in America,
okay, Haskell, pick a word. Haskell, you the genius. Pick a word. Haskell the genius. Pick a word. Let's deal with the word. Crossover, pop culture. Pick a word, Haskell.
That's an unnecessary.
Pick a word. Pick a word.
He's a gaslighter.
In the conversation for
pick a word.
2 days.
Pick a word.
We done heard what Stu P said over and over. What Adam said over and over.
Pick a word.
What Sheffield said over and over.
Pick a word. Y'all playing now.
Context,
don't run now.
Brother,
pick a word. Pick a word.
Right over me, bro. You talking dead over
pick
me.
Pick a word.
We know, bro, that the context. Come on, man. Stop doing that, bro. We know that the context of the conversation was talking about America, bro. Like, come on, man. Don't do that, bro.
Oh, then comedy in America, Larry Bruce. Okay. See, no, y'all narrow it down when y'all want to. Y'all brought it to one.
It's not when we want to. It's always
then y'all expand it when y'all want to. No, y'all expand it when y'all want to.
Comedy. There was
no minstrel comedy. Get out of here, man.
There was no
Y'all narrow it down and extend
global.
it when y'all want to.
No, come
Damn,
on,
all
man.
that
Don't
to
do
win
that,
an
man.
argument?
You know what
Jesus.
you're doing, man. No, don't be like them other
No,
niggas, man. You better
no.
than this. Hits.
No, y'all
You
talk
just
about a
brought
lot
a
of shit y'all
dope
don't know
book
nothing
for me.
about, too.
When
You talk about a lot
Anathema
of shit
used the
y'all don't know
romantic
nothing about.
literature
Yeah.
analogy, it fit perfect, bro. Like we go back and we compartmentalize things. Like, you know, all comedy, it get compartmentalized. There's dark humor now. There's all type of different little things. So it's like we go back and we compartmentalize those things. So like I don't see Anathema broke it down pretty clear. I thought that was pretty.
They said black comedy didn't become a genre or a thing into Eddie Murphy in the 80s. That's what they said.
No.
That is what they
Somebody
said.
did say that.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Somebody, I don't remember who said it, but somebody, we was talking about Eddie Murphy like
never
that.
said that.
If you look at
Somebody said that shit.
Elvis was covering
Somebody
black artists.
said that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Going
It
over
was
to popular
Vyasa.
culture.
It was Vyasa that
Because we started talking about Boomerang and all kinds of shit.
He was saying
it was
Vyasa
that said it.
in the 80s. He said Eddie Murphy and Whoopi Goldberg in the 80s. That's when that genre became a genre. That's what he said.
That's what he said. That's what Vyasa said. I don't know if Anathema
I
co-signed it, but that's what he said.
Wholeheartedly, I disagree with that. Like,
right.
Right. No, but
that's not true.
The onus of the argument was this. The onus of the argument was this.
When you get back down to it,
it didn't become black comedy until popular culture recognized it.
That shit sound crazy.
When we get back down to it, and you go back to the drawing board and repeat what somebody said from the get-go, you get clarity. Everybody else jumping in saying this, saying that. That's why I said you gotta focus in on what a person said, not what everybody who jumping in, Anathema saying this.
Right.
Don't listen to that shit. I know what I'm doing. I know why we arguing.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Now, hold on.
It's having a whole different
Haskell, help me out.
discussion than what we was having.
Haskell, help me out. Haskell, help me out. Actually, Haskell, you can help me with two things. One, shameless plug. I have a custom GPT. I put the link in the general chat. It deals with African Americans' history and impact. So if you put in a topic or question, it would only deal with it based on African Americans. I also have one for Egypt, Haskell. Reggie didn't want to help me out, so you need to go in there and ask it difficult questions just so I can make sure it works. But for anything African American history related impact or influence, I put the link for that custom GPT in our general chat. My shameless plug. Go ahead. My bad.
But that's why I was telling you today about the whole crossover thing. That was really a splinter off of the original discussion. That's why I was saying earlier, you're having a different discussion with what Stu Pease was talking about.
Gotcha.
The original discussion was that black comedy didn't become black comedy as a genre until the 80s. That was the original discussion.
That's what y'all took.
What would prompt him to say that though? That's a wild.
Okay, we got Vyasa back.
And if y'all need books, hit me up. I may can get the PDF. My bad. Another shameless plug. I'm sorry. If y'all need some books that you can't find online, hit me up.
So you said in the 80s.
Ain't that Vyasa back?
So it's just it's a rhetorical question. So you're saying in the 80s it was called black comedy. So then my question would be to that would be, if you had places like the Chitlin Circuit for comedians, or you had nightclubs and
Already
you had
black.
lounges that was black, and you had people doing black comedy there. That goes back to the thing of somebody that's not Black American validate or labeling something that was already in existence. So my question is, at this point, like, what's the argument?
They made their own argument. None of the stuff they arguing was even a talking point till they made arguments to have talking points.
So the whole thing about the
I
80s,
don't
the
even
80s
understand. Here
being,
it is.
hold
It's an
on,
entire
the
day
whole
later,
80s,
and
the
y'all
whole
still
80s
on that.
being when the black comedy became a genre. We just made that up out of thin air, right? Nobody
Nobody
said
said it
that.
became a genre. Like I
They
made
did say that yesterday.
high school that don't even try to give credence to y'all's argument. That was the whole point of me bringing up hip hop. Hip hop didn't become a genre until the 80s, but that's not saying black people didn't do music before the 80s.
Thank you.
A particular branding of comedy hit its pinnacle and carved out its own lane to where it's now an industry behind it in the 80s.
We did hip hop before
Yes,
the
there was
80s, though.
Yes, there was black comedians before then. Like I don't understand why y'all still on that.
Did we do? All right, fuck
It makes
that. Did
no
we do
sense.
hip hop before the 80s?
I started. It's not my fault that you wasn't here at the beginning of it. I started with saying that this is the book about black humor. I highlighted how Thomas Jefferson said we don't even need sleep behind our sense of humor. Rolled it into the laughing barrel and said black people were suppressed from laughing. Then you go through the minstrel era. Then you have your basement comedies. Like I highlighted all that. All that stuff is in that book, discussed in this book. So I don't understand where is this argument that everybody's trying to
Yeah,
make?
I don't know. We just all crazy, bro. So you right.
Why is that?
Brandon
Grandpa,
gonna tell you.
We chef and we doing
Yeah,
bad
I'm
salts.
crazy.
Yeah, we doing bad salts. Niggas is just tripping, dog. I apologize, my nigga. Niggas crazy.
Or other people heard trigger words like pop culture and all these other and crossed over. People heard trigger words, so that's how other people got. And I'm going against you,
No, it was
that's
in
how
there.
other
No,
people get
hold up,
involved
because it was in
when
there.
niggas start yelling out words and it only
Some of that
means
was in
something
there,
to
though.
them.
So Vyasa, let me ask you a question, though. Right? So what was the point in bringing up? What was the point in bringing up this shift when you was talking about Eddie Murphy? Right, when you was bringing up the shift between like
it was to highlight all the stuff the book covers. We talking about a 600-page book.
Was that show recorded yesterday? We ain't got to do
It was.
We're talking about a 600-page book, and I tried to say, hey, this book
Because
discusses these types
people
of things.
always do that, bro. Niggas always good for that, man. Niggas are gaslight the fuck out you, dog. I don't even know where y'all got that from. Where? I never said that. And now you looking crazy. I mean,
I could have sworn I heard you say yesterday.
Which book? Hold on. Which book?
If you tried to look up black comedy before 1970, you would pull up like a minstrel show or some shit. I could have sworn I heard.
No, you wouldn't. But which book, nigga? That's a lie. Which book? You made that up.
It was dark comedy. I said that, and that's a fact.
Yeah, hold up, Hicks, because some of these niggas is saying some wild shit. Yo, hold up. Let them say it so we can know who's saying that shit.
Which book? Which book?
Yeah, let them say it so we can actually know who's saying the wild shit.
Yo, I don't believe we did all this all for that to just happen, yo.
Does anybody know which book?
It never fails, bro.
We're some unbelievable
The book is
people,
called
yo.
On the Real.
Which book, please?
On the Real. On the Real is the name of the book.
Gotcha.
By Watkins.
I'm on it. I'm gonna put the PDF if I ain't get it in the
I don't want to read
camera
that
chat.
shit.
I did it like 20 times yesterday.
I think it said Boyce Watkins.
Ain't none of y'all niggas read that shit, but y'all still talking. Y'all go ahead.
They holler that's Boyce Watkins.
Hold on, let me get the author. Hold on, y'all chill. Let me get the author. Chill. What's the author? Hold on 1 second. Can I get the author?
Hold on, this is my entire point the other day is that I kept telling y'all, but I said it was not saying what they were saying. They constructed.
I just want the author.
Like y'all,
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
I thought he wasn't. I thought he wasn't saying it,
That's
and
what's
then
funny to
he
me.
did double down on that shit. I do remember that.
Oh, because we start
I do remember him. Because I actually remember. I remember accusing Stoopy of missing the nigga's point,
was Stoopy's
and I was wrong.
Okay. Stoopy's was trying to make the narrative that I'm talking about crossovers.
Can we get Bias point first?
Let
Right
Vasa
after
finish,
Bias.
Stoopies. Yeah, let Vasa finish.
Stoopy's heard me say it becomes a part of pop culture, and he got triggered by that.
No, you didn't say
Completely
about
triggered.
Hold on, Stoopies.
And me and Stoopies, we squashed what we had going on when everybody left yesterday.
I wish everybody was here when I squashed it out. My issue with the writer, I don't have an issue with him if he quote a book. I have an issue with the writer that he quoted. The writer said that black comedy existed when popular culture said it existed. I'm just paraphrasing for want of a better way. That popular culture determined the existence of black comedy. That was my issue because I know what popular culture means. Popular culture, although many persons in this room would not want to agree with me, popular culture means white culture. So white culture determined the existence of black comedy, according to the book. Right? And that's what I had an issue with.
So is hip hop white culture at this point?
No, hip hop is not popular culture because different for hip hop.
Because white
But it's the mainstream, it's popular.
Experience
It's the most popular culture on the planet.
They don't dictate it.
Reggae second behind it. But I don't claim reggae to be a primary genre.
Allegedly.
We're talking about culture.
Yeah, Bob Marley was
Allegedly.
popular culture, but you don't see
It's not allegedly. Go to Africa. Go to Europe. Reggae second behind it.
Allegedly. Y'all take shit.
He troll. He just trolling, dog.
He's just trolling, right? But, no, Jamaicans would like to say, oh, reggae is not primarily Jamaican culture. We know that it came from Jamaica. But we can't
I
claim
listen to reggaeton. I like reggaeton better.
There's nothing
No,
wrong.
you lying.
From reggae.
Oh, crazy as hell.
Crazy as fuck,
It's
bro.
the same beat every
Hold
track.
on,
So I
hold
know
on.
you lying.
Here's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to attempt to put the book. Now hold on. I'm going to attempt to put the book in a AI, and then we can ask it direct questions or questions, and it will just go. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me get the book first. Go ahead.
Oh, get the book. Get the book. I want to ask the Jamaicans, how do y'all feel about reggaeton?
Oh, like, don't fall for that, Stoopies. Don't you dare.
I need to know because I need to know if I should be fucking with it or not. Should we fuck with it or should we not fuck with it?
I used to fuck with it when it was in Panama. But when those white Puerto Ricans took it, because when reggaeton was in Panama, it was a black music. But when those white Puerto Ricans took that shit.
Oh shit! I told you don't fall for it.
I don't back up what I
tell you that these are trigger words. I keep trying to warn y'all, don't fall for the trigger word.
Stoopy's trying to black out the sun, y'all. That's what this is.
Y'all wild as hell.
He said Stoopy's a black supremacist, huh?
He's trying to black out the sun, y'all.
All right.
It's not. It didn't. For me, that's not triggering because I understand what Stoopies is saying. So reggaeton developed in Panama.
Jamaica's white Puerto Rican.
No, I was just messing with him.
No, wait, let me
let Cuban finish. Yeah, let Cuban finish.
He said white Puerto Rican. You're not a white Puerto Rican, so it wouldn't be triggering.
But let him talk.
So but the thing is that in that, there's people who say I'm a white Cuban, I'm not a white Cuban, right? But it's a thing of generalizing and associating people with something that they are not, though they may think that they are, if that makes sense. You have people that say they're white, like you're not white. Your skin might be light, but who's your parents? What's your parents mixed with? You mix. You just came out looking this way, but your sister's red bone